What's going on, everyone? So, the Boston Celtics are looking to acquire Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz. I think this is some inside trading, if you ask me myself. Now, part of it is I'm a Laker fan, and one, I don't want the Celtics to get Walker Kessler. I want the Lakers to get Walker Kessler. He's somebody that I've really been adamant about the Lakers acquiring. I think he's a guy that really solves a lot for what the Lakers need. But unfortunately, if the Celtics want Walker Kessler, they'll probably get Walker Kessler, right? Because one, the rich get richer. Two, Danny Ainge is, Mr. Celtic, right? Question is, does he feel kind of slighted? Does he kind of feel, like the Celtics kind of did him dirty? And then, as soon as I get out, then all of a sudden they win a championship. And it's like, does he feel some type of way? Right? Does he really try to fleece this out? Like, hey, well, I'll trade you Kessler, but no, I mean, he knows all the picks that he knows everything. Because he's the one that built it all, right? Like, so he's probably looking at it as like, hey, man, there's a couple nice ones there that I really like. Could he maybe work something out? Kessler sat last night. Now, like the entire Jazz team, except for like Colin Sexton sat. But it is kind of interesting because they've always kind of maintained and played Walker Kessler. He's a guy that, given his age, he was listed out for rest. He's 23. He's missed, 6 games this year, something like that. And not because of rest. It was like a little hip injury. Now he's just like taking nights off. I understand the Jazz are tanking, but I mean, it's a little early, right? Like, it's a little early to be taking. So is something a brewing there? Is something coming together? Now, obviously, it doesn't mean that it's going to get done. I mean, they could be in conversations. They could be in the thick of it. But conversations start and go nowhere all the time. I mean, there's also been numerous times where, it looks like it's a done deal. And then, boom, all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's not getting done and both sides aren't able to come to terms, or somebody wants more in the end or whatever. A third team has to get involved. The beauty of Kessler is he's so cheap. Pretty much every team in the league, first apron, second apron, doesn't matter, right? Like, they can go and acquire Walker Kessler because most guys have a $4 to $6 million guy that they could send out in that trade and get back a Walker Kessler. It just comes down to the assets and the picks and stuff like that. Walker Kessler would definitely, without a doubt, make the Celtics better. You're talking about one of the best rim protectors in the league. You're talking about a guy that gets you a double-double in limited minutes. He would take pressure off of Kristaps Porzingis. He'd take pressure off of Al Horford. You put and slot in Walker Kessler in place of Luke Cornett. I mean, to me, that's an upgrade in itself. And he's 23 years old, so you have him as your center for the next, 10 years. Right? Like, he could easily be the guy that slots in. And, you could even go, big at something. Like, once Drew Holiday and them, you could do something where, you have a Brown at the 2, Tatum at the 3, a Porzingis at the 4, and a Kessler at the 5, right? You could run Horford alongside Kessler because of his floor spacing ability, right? It'd give you so much more versatility, but also give you that piece and that foundation for, the foreseeable future. Obviously, Tatum's still very young. He's got some years left with the team. Same thing with a Jaylen Brown. Same thing, right? Like, he's a guy that has years with that team. Unless at some point they break up and go their own separate ways. But, at least for the foreseeable future, they're all kind of intact. And to add a guy in a Walker Kessler that, can kind of play a key role, be a rim protector for you, and just make things more difficult with all your perimeter, defense that you have between Drew Holiday and Derek White and, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, to slot in that monster in the paint as far as shot blocking goes, and to kind of match up better against some of these bigger centers and just have multiple bodies that you can throw on guys. That would be huge for a team like the Celtics coming off of a championship, right? Any little minor tweaks you can make to really kind of elevate that ceiling and make you just a better overall team you're going to do. And it's what you're seeing from the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are really kind of elevating and have done a good job of, staying the course, being patient, and finding those gems the last few years. Now you see something in a Walker Kessler, and it's like that could be the next gem that they add to, again, raise the ceiling slightly. Now, I don't think he's I've even talked about this like with the Lakers when I've talked about it. Like he's not the guy that like all of a sudden Lakers are a contender, right? Same thing with the Celtics. Like I don't think he is still a project. He still has work that needs to do, but he's shown the ability to do a little bit of everything, right? Like I don't think Walker Kessler makes the Celtics better, but he doesn't make them like that's it. They are now clearly far and away the best team. No one's touched. Like, it's not, like, it doesn't send them, say they're in, or it doesn't send them to the moon type thing, right? But it does raise that ceiling even slider. So now, they're a contender. They're coming off of a championship. Doesn't get much higher than that, right? It's like, okay, well, the gap between everybody. So at that point, you're just trying to, make the gap better. So it's like, okay, so let's say the gap's here from the Cavs. Well, now it's like here, right? Like, but that's the difference between you repeating or not. Same thing with a team like the Thunder, right? Thunder are here. Well, now they're here, right? Like it changes kind of the perspective and landscape of what you can do with the Boston Celtics. Gives you more versatility, gives you more different lineups and matchups and all that stuff. Could really kind of make for a tough team to beat. Celtics are already, they've been kind of lackadaisical this season, kind of coasting in a lot of ways, but they're not worried about it, right? Like they just, as long as they're a top 3 seed going into the playoffs, they're fine, right? They're not worried about like, oh, we have to get the 1 seed. Like, no, you're just worried about health. As long as you get into the playoffs healthy, they have to beat you, right? I still have my concerns about the Celtics come playoffs time. Like one of the things I really wanted to see last season that we didn't get, which before I get into it, I just want to say, like, I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, they had an easy road, like easiest road ever. Look, it's not their responsibility on who they play, right? Their job is to show up and beat the team in front of them, whoever that team is. They did their job and they won the NBA championship. But the one thing I really wanted to see with the Celtics was them truly be tested, because that was their problem, right? Like they were in the conference finals or the NBA finals every year, but they never really got tested last year. Again, it's not their fault. It's not their responsibility, but I wanted to see what do they look like tested. This year, like, you got teams like the Cavs. You got what does it look like if you're down 2-1 or you're down 3-2 or something like that, and it's just like, do they just crumble and fold, or do they stay with it? Are you, say you're down 2-1 and you're down 15 midway through the third, and game 4, and it's like, oh, they might go down 3-1. Do they rally and figure it out and get the win and then go off and win the game, or do they kind of collapse and crumble under themselves, right? Like these are the things I really wanted to see. So we'll see if that ends up happening this year, but adding a guy like a Walker Kessler, again, would make it more unlikely that they would be tested, because you just have that other piece. You just have kind of that thing that you need. And, again, the Celtics, they're fine. They're in good shape. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Walker Kessler potentially going to the Boston Celtics? Do you think absolutely not? Keep him away from the Celtics? Do you think, Danny Ainge, insider trading? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.